Hi, welcome to episode 4 of the Showskaters podcast. Today we have Lean Haddad, who is a world and Olympic skater and world-renowned choreographer. With more than 15 years of experience, Lean has collaborated with many international skaters, federations, Olympic coaches, Cirque Du Soleil, the Ice Theatre of New York, as well as ISU Seminars. This is going to be a shortish podcast, just 45 minutes. So I'm going to bring her on right now and we're going to get right into it. Let's do this. Good morning. Good afternoon, Lean. How are you?
Good morning, Adam. I'm good. You? Thanks for having me here.
Oh, thank you very much for coming on. I really feel that this is going to be an amazing conversation with you.
Yes,
So,
excited.
yeah, so I'll just give a little introduction about who you are, but let's hear from you. Who is Lean Haddad in your own words?
All right. So, as you may know, I'm a former pair skater from France. I skated at the Olympics and various world and European championships. Um, I became later more like a professional skater. I toured with the French team and Philippe Candeloro. And then I started being hired as a choreographer. I'll try to make it short, but it inspired me a lot. And I decided to move to New York to explore new horizons and to try expanding a little bit my knowledge. So started working as a coach, building my own team of students between Manhattan and New Jersey. And little by little realized that my focus will be even more appreciated in the side of the artistry.
Yeah.
So instead of delegating this work to other coaches, I started like working more and more towards this goal. Became a performer for the Ice Theatre of New York, a beautiful company that helps me really see both sides, with the dance world fusion and merged into the skating world. Worked a lot with different choreographers, became myself a choreographer for this company and built my own pieces, my own work for them. I really feel that since I'm a kid, I always had dance in my life. I did ballet in the Conservatory of Paris, and I always, even if I had a skating career, I always had a dance background at the same time. So I continued developing that in New York with contemporary dance and all sort of partnering dances. So I could continue helping my student develop different styles, adapting to different music. And then little by little, I became more like skating choreographer for elite skaters, also for ISU skaters, and pairs, solo, working with ice dancers also.
Amazing.
And now I try to give my expertise to federations, club, working with different fields like Cirque Du Soleil, and opening up to different sort of artists like theater, circus, dancers. Worked with a dance company, also developed work for them with different dancers. And here I am today, trying to continue and train people and train coaches to become choreographers. So
That's
that's
amazing.
pretty
That's
much
amazing. God, that's
what I do.
That's a lot of information, and there's a million questions that I have based on what you've said.
Okay,
But I know
great.
we have quite a short amount of time. So there's one
Yes.
one question I have to ask. So you were the youngest skater at the Olympics when you went there. How old were you?
I turned 14 the day of my free program.
40.
So I had a derogation from the ISU to be able to compete at the Olympics.
So
And that was kind of the beginning of my career. Usually it's the end. For me, it was the beginning. And then I went to Worlds, and then I went to different competition and Grand Prix. But yeah, it was an interesting start of my career and scary one also.
amazing, amazing. So we're going to go through the questions that we've got here.
Yes.
It's perfect. So let's get straight into the questions, right? So what first drew you to choreography?
Uh, I really feel that choreography is a field that allows you to learn about people, to share and to collaborate, and to express yourself through movement. And that's basically for me the key right now. And trying to work in this field helps me also with my own emotions, but help understanding people better and trying to help them move forward with what they have inside of them and they want to get out.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, who were your biggest influences or mentors when you started choreography?
So I was watching, dancers. I was watching dance companies like Maurice Béjart. I was looking, of course, at Les Duchesnay, who were, avant-gardists, and something clicked. I wanted to do things differently. I wanted to try to create art that
Yeah.
looks unique and original, and that we could share to the world. So I got inspired by all these influences.
No, that's amazing. And now, like for me, I've had to choreograph things before, but I know I'm not a choreographer. It's that I see choreographers, I'm like, that's not me. It's that do you think it can be something that you can learn and develop, or it's something that you just kind of you have that natural talent?
So it's very interesting question and very relevant because through the ISU seminars that I'm teaching right now, we're doing coaches training, not on the technical aspect, but we're trying to develop the artistry and trying to help them understand that we can use different tools, even if you're not a choreographer, to unlock imagination, to create inspirations. And you have different concepts that you can use. You have, of course, different style of music that will talk to you more, that would help you move and start to see different things in your head and start to feel emotions. So we're using a lot of different tools like these to help them create. And of course, your student you're working with become your inspiration. And we don't work one way as a choreographer. We try to get inspired mutually. And that's how you start unlocking yourself and opening up to different possibilities and helping them access their potential, both as a coach and as a student.
No, yeah, that's amazing. So, can you share a pivotal moment in your career that shaped you as a choreographer?
It's interesting because I think I have many moments, not one. So again, like watching a different dance company help me, click a little bit and trying to find my own style and what I want to develop. And I think I'm still learning every day. There was, of course, some skating programs that were again helping me to understand that I want to do something different and that I got excited about. So we have also some companies like Bacheva companies, and we have the some different choreographers that I feel that inspired me also. But it's an ensemble of things. It was not like one particular thing.
No, that's amazing. And so, I know you work with dancers and you work with skaters. Like, what is the difference with you when you're working with different types of artists? Like, is your process exactly the same? Like, when you're creating a new piece, do you prefer to start with the music, or do you prefer to start with the movement concept? And is this difference with dancers and skaters?
So we have some differences, but overall, the main goal is to explore together, to try to play and try to see first without any restrictions of rules of we have limitations, of course, in both words. You have a limitation of time
Yeah,
with the dance companies. You have to create a certain work with a certain time or a certain style of music. Also limitations when I worked with the Compass company, it was company from flamenco dancers, and so I had to adapt to them and to create something that could fit them, and also to try to challenge them a little bit. The same with skating, you have rules, you have judges, you have also a program that's very short and you have to put all the elements in it. So I tend to leave this on the side when I start to create, and I just start fresh with them and see how, by playing together, by sharing together, how we can create the best material and then take it from there. Sometimes we start with the music, sometimes we start with a theme, a storyline, an idea, one word, it can be anything. And I try to not limit myself to something restricted before, and then we shape it, and then we try to make it work with the limitation and the difficulty and challenges that we have as a choreographer.
No, that totally makes sense. And there's just something that came to my mind, like just for personal. And when Rosie and I started skating together a few months ago, it was because we were supposed to do Spain's Got Talent, and then Rosie had an injury, so we didn't do it.
Amazing, yes.
Let's forget about trying to make anything right now. Let's just play. Let's play. Let's create new things. Let's just play around, and then look at, because creating a piece or a routine, it's not the most fun thing always. It's a lot of pressures, a lot of stress, and it's like, but just playing around, just doing, okay, let's just
removing the stress, removing the pressure, removing the restrictions, and having an open mind and free mind. You cannot create if you start having, control a person around you, or something that you have to deliver in a very short time, and feeling that you have like I don't know, just 1 hour to build a full routine. Like when you start to think about all these, then it's kind of shrinking your brain and your imagination. So you want to leave it on the side. I had like just a couple of days to build a piece for Cirque Du Soleil, and it was a lot of pressure and it was a lot of restrictions. And all of a sudden we had a huge piano that had to come in the middle of the piece, a huge tree that had to work with. And so it was very important to use this tool and to use this approach. Otherwise, it would not have worked, for sure.
And so, how was this the first time you've worked for Cirque du Soleil?
No, I worked with Cirque du Soleil before the pandemic also, creating workshops for them, for all the different artists. And it was like a collaboration with them to help the skaters or help the artists be a little bit more creative and open to new things. And then worked with them again a few weeks ago in Brazil to build a new piece for them. So very excited work, very rich, and also very challenging, of course. So really enjoy this process with all of the artists and the collaboration with different fields. Also, this is what I enjoy a lot.
No, it's amazing. I mean, to work for Cirque du Soleil, it's a highlight, I think, for everybody's career if you have this opportunity. So it must have been really nice, especially to go back a second time.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's the mentality and the ability for the professionals to continue learning that was amazing for me to see, and continuing expanding and offering an audience the best work they could do. They're trying to not limit themselves, but they continue growing together as an ensemble, as a company. And the artistic directors were amazing also. They had a very expert eyes, and I learned a lot from them also. So it was a beautiful collaboration.
It's amazing. It's always a continual learning process, whatever we're doing, right? So it's
exactly.
We're never finished. We're never finished.
And I think that's the key, to continue creating something new every time, and to try to absorb new things and to share and to learn.
No, definitely. So how do you approach storytelling through movement?
So I try to, when I hear music, when I hear that the skater wants to skate on a certain piece of music or a certain theme, I start to create a little storyline. And sometimes it's just a few words. Sometimes it's a full story from the beginning of the routine to the end. Sometimes we have the beginning, but like a movie, like a little bit, suspense. We don't know what's going to happen at the end. And I like to leave it open, and you can be very surprised that your initial idea very often is completely changed to a completely
Oh,
different piece
yeah.
when you finish choreographing a program or a piece of work. So I feel like storylines is a good tool to use to develop imagination again. But I love to see it evolved, and I love to see what the artist in front of me has to say about it
Yeah.
through movement, and how his emotions will lead him to a completely different piece and amazing, ending project.
No, that's amazing. So, can you describe a time when you encountered a creative block, and how do you overcome this?
Sure. We have, moments where, again, the restrictions of time, the pressure, and the challenges of the work that you have to deliver. It's creating some blocks, and that's why I made up like a sort of toolbox. So whenever I feel like this sort of block, for example, with the dance company I worked with, I had a completely in vision, and I could see the whole piece in my head, and then I came to rehearsal,
Yeah.
and then they couldn't deliver, or I had to adapt completely to their abilities and to their style. Then I had to change the whole piece, had to change, adapting to the space. And so these moments sometimes create, blocks. First of all, you have to learn how to breathe. That's the first thing that is important, and let the idea come. And again, going back to open mind and playing, and going there with a smile on, and trying to share with them your difficulties. And we will be very surprised, because we're feeding each other with ideas, we're feeding each other with solutions. And then the blocks, little by little, got reduced, and we can start having fun again, and creating, and seeing things again in your mind, and feeling in your body and emotions. So yes, I go back to this toolbox, usually using this sort of concept, and
No, amazing. I
that
mean,
helps me with
yeah,
the improvisation also. I think improvisation is one of the keys. Sometimes you just put music on and you start to move without any thoughts, and then it starts coming to you. You'll be very surprised.
yeah. You
We
just,
try that together anytime, Adam.
yeah, oh, definitely. Well, you just see what happens, right? And the
Hmm.
thing is, you can't buy, you can't learn experience. You just have to have the experience. Once you've had so much experience in doing something, not like, okay, whatever, it's fine. I'll figure it out. You can always figure it out. But when you're
Yes.
first starting, you get stressed. But now it's like, whatever, we'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
especially when people have expectations, you can have a lot of experience, but when you feel the pressure, when you feel, people are looking at you, and you have to deliver at that moment of time, the best piece that you've created, then it's a moment where you can get through a little bit of panic moment. But again, let it go of that, let it go of all these sort of expectations, and trying to develop something that comes from insights, coming from inspiration that you have towards the artist that you have in front of you. And you can, again, share, collaborate, get things moving, and then you can deliver.
No, amazing. It's like I keep going off piste off my questions because they just come to me. I'm like, when you think of pressure, do you enjoy more pressure? Like more pressure is like it wakes you up and you get excited, or you are the opposite. How do you think?
uh, Coming from a competitive background, pressure at something that can help you perform.
Yeah,
If it's the right amount, and if you can handle it well,
yeah,
it can also freeze you. So the idea is to try to enjoy the process. If you stop enjoying the process, then the pressure will take over, and then will force you to not deliver your best work. The idea is to really be in the moment. It's like meditation, being in the moment, enjoying the people you work with, enjoying, the work that you have to deliver, and try to be musical, hear the music, going back to simple things, and that's usually very helpful to handle the pressure.
No, definitely. Okay,
And I
let's.
think different people have different ways.
Of course, everyone is different. So,
Yes.
okay, so how do you see the role of a choreographer evolving in today's skating industry?
So I feel being a choreographer is giving the opportunity to the artists or to the skaters to access their full potential and to try to know themselves a little better. It's like being a psychologist. It's almost like therapy on ice. So you have to bring them with you into a beautiful process, a beautiful journey of exploration, and little by little they will discover that they can do much more than they thought initially, and you can develop their identity as a choreographer. You can help them reach creative moves that they've never thought of. You can play with them and show them some of the challenges they have, but also some new possibilities. So I feel our role is to open up their mind, open up their capacity, and work with the confidence and the self-esteem. Also, it's something that I insist on with them. But the main thing is to be able to work as a team.
Yeah,
When you work as a team with the artists, but also with there is always a team around, like there is a coach, there are parents, and everybody has their idea, their input. But it's important to create the connection. If you don't create connection, you cannot make anything beautiful happen. So
yeah,
the first thing is to create this connection and make sure they feel safe with you,
yeah.
so they can explore. We can explore together and make something beautiful happen together.
No, definitely. And trust is really important to trust the choreographer.
Trust,
And
yeah, trust and guiding them, but with a very positive approach.
no, definitely. And like you can, like skaters can end up almost exceeding what they thought was possible. Like, as I said, I'm not a choreographer, and I looked back on a piece I did when I did Robin Cousins' Ice, and it was
Yes.
choreographed by Mark Naylor and Robin Cousins, and I watched it a few weeks ago, and I thought to myself, was that me? Because it's so rich with different movements and and transitions integrated with the tricks. I was like, that's what's missing from at the moment when I'm creating something. I don't have the choreographer to create, so I,
Mhm.
I need I
But it's
need
to
to do
create
something.
you.
Maybe we
So
do something. I don't know. You know.
yeah, yeah. I
Very
think it's amazing you got the possibility to work with him.
Yeah.
Fantastic choreographer, and what a choreographer can help. It's not only creating some moves, but it's how you bring them together, how you connect them, the transitions, the flow you bring into the piece, and that will make something that enjoyable for the eyes. And you'll be surprised to what we can do with just a few elements that we want to incorporate. It's like you have the jumps, you have the spins, but how you put them together. It's like composition for the ISU competition. So this is what we're working on, trying to teach also the coaches and the skaters to connect, to create flow into their work. So people can enjoy and not see the difficulties, as something that they feel coming, but they can enjoy having them incorporated into the routine. And that's usually something that helps them and the audience to enjoy the process
No,
and
definitely.
listen.
Yeah, so then it just becomes one piece as opposed to, okay, they're skating round and now they
Okay.
jump and then they're skating, now they're spinning. It just becomes movement into a jump around and it just flows. It's
It's like
when
a
you,
beautiful, beautiful musical phrase that
yeah,
doesn't stop. There is a beginning and an ending, and in between you have like a beautiful story that you want to tell and a beautiful message that you want to deliver to your audience. So this is what I'm trying to also teach to the future choreographers.
No, definitely. So I'm going to jump around with the questions a little bit because
Sure.
why not? So how do you define success as a choreographer?
I think, success comes from being able to have nice experiences with the artists that you work with. And you feel successful when you feel that you achieved something unique
Yeah.
through collaboration and something that they will remember. So if the audience or the artist you just worked with remember this process, remember the impact you had on them, and then you created a work that will have an impact on an audience, then I think you can call yourself as a successful choreographer. I don't think it's about having, right now lately it's about having more followers and being popular, and the last athletes that coming out from competition become choreographer. It's very difficult to define quality as a choreographer, and I think people lose track a little bit on what is a successful choreographer. So it's important to go back to remembering that a choreographer is someone that's helps you create something different, original, unique, and that talks to you and to an audience. And the process and the connection you're creating with the artist has to be memorable. So you can create an identity for them, and that can be a successful story.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I see it more that way than what you see on social media. Sometimes it's a little bit sad because it doesn't reflect quality very often.
So talking about social media, how do you think social media and technology are influencing choreography today?
So you can have good things with social media and bad things. I just explained a little bit the other side. But of course, now that you have possibility and access to see incredible works from any choreographers of the world, different cultures, different influences, different. You get crazy inspiration, uh,
Mhm.
and it can totally shape your brain differently, and you can feel yourself, without thinking, oh, I'm going to copy that. Oh, this is a great idea. You can feed yourself with new ideas, new concept. You can keep learning, and I think this is really helpful also. And it creates an opportunity to have access to millions of informations. Like when we create internet, all of a sudden you have access to all the work of
Yeah,
any choreographers and any dancers. So every day you can watch different things, but it can be also, we have to be careful, it can be very overwhelming, and then you can forget who you are and who you want to be as a choreographer. And going back to what you want to deliver, what you want to say is important. So you have to at some point go back to your bubble, and not get too hectic and get too distracted with all this information that you can receive. So
no,
there are both ways.
no, I totally agree. So let's talk for yourself. Let's talk about Choreo Line. Like, how did it come?
Yes.
How did it come about? And what is it? And what are some of the goals that you're looking to achieve with
Sure.
your company?
So Choreo Line was created during pandemic. First of all, to continue working with my students abroad and connecting them, making like a new community
Yeah,
of people who wanted to learn more about dance choreography, and it was like an online platform. And then it turned into a platform for choreography services that is open to different fields, like, of course, skating, dance, theater, circus, aerialist. It can be open to anyone that needs to work on a certain type of choreography. And I feel that it's helping people to try to ask and request what they need and then I try to deliver, through this platform and through this company, what they need basically. So this Choreoline platform is open also to coaches training. So you can have professionals, you can have skaters, you can have dance company reaching out, and whatever they need, we're trying to find a way to make it happen for them. So yes, I
So,
feel like choreography needed like a place, for artists to meet,
yeah,
and so we can help each other and collaborate through different areas and different fields.
amazing. So is there like videos that people can follow on there, or is everything person to person?
So people can can connect and can contact us through this Choreoline platform, and then from then we can chat. Of course, you can find some videos, you can find some reels in there that can help you understand what you need and have different options in terms of services. So you can just pick what you need, and then we can talk, and from there it can be a start of a beautiful exchange, beautiful collaboration, and see how we can help you reach your goals.
Amazing. Do you have many choreographers that are a part of Choreoline?
So the ideas in the future will be to have more choreographers joining the team. So the challenges as a choreographer is to be everywhere. And sometimes, right now I'm in Latin America and I cannot be in Europe. And maybe at some point we have a request from someone in Europe that needs a program. And then I could maybe send another choreographer to work with them and trying to match, the right choreographer with the right artist. So at this time, we're not using yet more choreographers. But I have a team around me that helps me connect and match, the needs.
Okay, that makes sense. So, what would be your advice for aspiring choreographers trying to get into choreography for skaters?
First of all, it's to try to go back to the dance background, trying to go and if they haven't had enough dance information, and to continue learning and to be able to grow also as an artist, so you can share more and you can have more ideas and expand your knowledge in terms of transferring the information and your capacity to teach. That would be the first, I think, the first piece of advice. Otherwise, they can come to us and we can train them to become choreographers, and we can cover a lot of different areas. In theory, we can do off-ice sessions. We can do on ice if it's a skating coach, or we can bring them in a studio and work with them into developing their imagination and creativity. And so they can trust them to be able to deliver and share with another artist, and help them develop a new project.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. So, okay, go do loads of different types of dance genres, and then you have all of these different ingredients to create. It's like it makes sense. It makes sense.
Continue working with different music types, and of course, as an artist, you always have a style that you like better and you're more comfortable with. But as a choreographer, you have no choice but to expand this and to try to develop knowledge in every style of dance, from contemporary to lyrical to flamenco to tango or Argentine tango to swing. You have to be able to adapt to any musical style and any request. So I think that's the challenge as a choreographer, and also that's what's exciting. It's never over. The job is never over. There's always something new to learn, and always something new that you can try to use from. So
Definitely. Okay, so we have about 9 minutes left, and we have 6 questions. So let's see if we can get through.
Okay. Okay.
So, how do you keep yourself inspired and continually evolving as a choreographer?
So by watching different work from different choreographer and continuing, developing myself as an artist and being on the side of the student also, so I can receive information and I can see, what's helping me, so I can help others.
That totally makes sense. And how do you define? So, oh no, I asked this before. What do you hope audiences take away from your performances?
I think that you know it's to for the audience to understand the message we want to deliver and to be able to give an identity to the artist that we work with. And so I think it would be nice if they can take away also an emotions, a feeling, something that they receive, that it doesn't even have to be turned into words, but maybe if we can create an impact on an audience, it's already something important, that we want to deliver.
No, definitely. And before we go on to the last few questions, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you would like to talk about?
I think it's we're covering a lot already, so I want you, to be able to continue with your questions and try to answer as best as I can.
Okay, okay. So, uh, oh, sorry, I'm just getting a call in. What's the most important lesson you've learned in your career so far?
I think it's to be humble and to accept the challenges in a way that you can still enjoy the process. And I think to be open to sharing different experiences and opening up to different artists, different fields. And it's not about you, but it's about the way you work with the person you have in front of you. And I think that that's the difference now that I learned over the years and that I changed, as again, having a competitive background, sometimes everything is turned towards yourself, and the idea for me is to turn towards others.
No, that's amazing. Okay, so let's talk about goals. So, what are your goals for the future of your choreography? Are there any special dreams or projects that you have as well?
I always have dreams, I want to build like a tango show, for example. I want to continue building choreographies for more and more artists, but not only skaters, but artists from different areas, and work with different directors. I think as a choreographer, I would like to keep expanding my knowledge and being able to share my vision. But I think what's important is to continue inspiring people and helping future choreographers to achieve their goals also, and giving them a way and a place to come to when they want to learn this type of work and job. I think we don't have enough of these platforms. So hopefully, what we're offering at Choreoline will help future artists to become great choreographers.
Amazing. So, if you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
It's a hard question because I have a few, of course, that I would love to work with, like Ohada Naharin, from former artistic director from Batsheva Company. When I was in New York, I always dreamt of working with Ballet Hispanico. If I could have Maurice Béjart, coming back and creating a piece for us on the ice, I think it would be just incredible. So mixing different fields and continuing, sharing with amazing avant-gardist choreographers would be incredible.
Amazing. So the same question, but for shows around the world. Are there any
Yes.
shows that you would love to choreograph for?
The good thing about show is that like there's not one in particular, but I'm always open to help artists in any level that they are at. And if they have a vision, if they have something beautiful they want to share, I would love to help them shape, their vision, and try to help them create something unique. And that's something that was not seen before. I have sometimes a little bit issues with the shows that are kept coming back, for example, in December, like Christmas shows. And I feel that sometimes, you see the same thing over and over. And we can still create Christmas shows, we can still create, this type of work, but maybe we can do it a little bit differently, and maybe we can bring a uniqueness to it, and it doesn't have to look the same. So I think it would be nice to collaborate with any sort of company that is ready for the challenge.
No, definitely. I feel like we need to work on something at some point. I'm not sure if you've seen have you seen the skate list act that I've done, where the girl is with no skates and then I am with skates.
I
So
think I saw a glimpse of it.
yeah, this really opens up what can be done choreography wise for the girl,
Yes.
especially if the girl is more acrobatic based as well. Then you can add some other elements and
Yeah, it's amazing mixing the acrobatics with the artistry. I think could be something fantastic, and this is what we have in our field also.
yeah, like when I remember when I did this, the hard part is getting in and out of the tricks, but making it look interesting, like from the
Yes,
floor picking up into a trick or putting the down, so it's not just clunky because you've got no wheels or you've got no blades. Uh,
yes.
so for me, actually, it was one of the most interesting
Mhm.
kind of projects that I went down. It's something I want
Yes.
to come back to because no one else really does it, but we haven't. So it's now I'm
Yeah,
totally.
working on transition, working on making things, connecting to each other. Like it was an interesting moment with Cirque du Soleil when all of a sudden we had the piano that was like coming in, and then we had to put the beautiful skaters on top of the piano.
Yeah,
And at first, I would just lift the girl and put her on the piano, and then we tried to create like an interesting move with like 3 4 partnering, partner that would lift her in a different way. And it created something magical, and then people didn't see it coming, and that made it like much more interesting also. So it's about trying to find again the right flow, the right transition, and something that's coming more organically
yeah.
into the process.
No, amazing. So I only have one question left on my list. So
Right.
we'll go through this question, and then if there's anything else that you want to touch on in the last couple of minutes, we can do this. Because I think for a lot of people, if you really try to push yourself, this is not the question, this is just me. So
Yes.
a lot of people, if they really try to push themselves, they have legacy in mind because they're looking into the future. When your book is closed and you're no longer doing what you've been doing, and you look back, then it's legacy. So what legacy do you hope to leave in the world of dance and dance skating and choreography?
Yeah, I think what's important to leave behind is having a constructive approach, a positive approach, and opening up to different cultures, including, diversity, being able to work together in with different artists from different backgrounds. And that's what I would love to be able to leave behind, this sort of mentality, this sort of capacity to share and collaborate, and again being turned towards the other, and what we can do together, and not just you and yourself.
Yeah,
So I think this is what I'm trying to do, and trying to teach people to expand, explore together, and work in a team, and with different sort of backgrounds and cultures and
yeah.
capacity.
Amazing, amazing. Is there anything else you want to add that we haven't touched on? Any kind of closing words from you?
I think what we need to remember is that artistry and choreography needs to be started from a young age, and it can start with just playing around, having kids jumping, having kids understanding music, having young artists developing their imagination through movement, and that will create later on beautiful artists and with a fantastic mentality of playfulness and creativity.
No,
So, and I really want to tell you that I really appreciate you spending some time to talk about this topic. That became my passion, and I want to be able to share it to more and more people. And we're very, very grateful that you're taking time for us to understand a little bit more about this field and the artistry. And I hope we can maybe work together at some point, and we can.
I hope so too. And thank you so much for coming on. To
My
the podcast.
pleasure.
Yeah, I will need to rewatch this and take notes because I'm trying to stay in the moment. But there's a lot of great information here, Lean.
Thank you so much for having me and for taking time to share all this information. I will go back and take notes also. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
I will try to continue growing and continue sharing. So I'll hope to see you soon, Adam, and good luck for your future projects. You have amazing ideas, amazing concepts. So I hope everything will work out, and we're here if you need it.
I mean, we can talk about that for a second because you have seen what Dan and I are creating, and
Amazing.
this is actually the next podcast will actually be with Dan.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about everything he's done and everything we're doing, and what our goal really is. So yeah, thank you so much, Lean. Enjoy
Thank
the
you,
rest of your
Adam.
day. I know you're very busy.
Day, and we'll be in touch very soon. Thank you all for listening, and we'll be in touch.
Definitely. Bye for now.
Thank you.
There we have it, guys. Episode 4 in the books with an amazing conversation with Lean all about choreography. I hope you guys took notes. If not, go back, take some notes because there's a lot of great information there. And as you just heard, the next podcast will be with Dan, and this will actually be us having a conversation together, talking about what we're trying to achieve with One Skates, with the blades and the frames, and how everything is going to work. So watch out for that one, which will be probably in the next few days, if not next weekend. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And bye for now. And make sure to join showskaters.com if you have not yet. You will want to be on there. Plus, there's loads of information and lots of good stuff on there.